World powers resume negotiations with Iran next week on its nuclear program. Secretary of State John Kerry is asking Congress to give diplomacy a chance. He met with lawmakers on Capitol Hill yesterday. Kerry is asking them to hold off on efforts to impose tougher economic sanctions on Iran.
Our hope is now that no new sanctions would be put in place for the simple reason that if they are, it could be viewed as bad faith by the people we're negotiating with. It could destroy the ability to be able to get agreement.
But some Republican senators are siding with Israel. Senator Mark Kirk said the administration's closed-door presentation was, quote, very unconvincing and fairly anti-Israeli.
The level of sanctions and financial pressure on Iran is unprecedented, and despite those attempts to isolate it, Iran's nuclear program continues to expand. Margaret Brennan is looking into how Iran's leaders have skirted the embargoes. She's in Washington. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning to you, Nora, and to Charlie. Well, Iran's already the most sanctioned country in the entire world, and that's devastated its economy. But Iran's leaders have found ways to evade sanctions, and they've amassed billions of dollars in off-the-book investments that the U.S. government is now hunting down. The Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei controls everything in Iran: the government, the economy, the military, known as the Revolutionary Guard, and the country's nuclear program. He's also been immune to the sanctions that have crippled the country, thanks to a hidden economy that's flourished under his rule. According to the U.S. Treasury, Khamenei funneled billions of dollars through a holding company known as Setad. It's a network of 37 businesses that include construction companies, oil companies, banks, and insurance firms. The profits are hidden throughout Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, and controlled by the Ayatollah. The U.S. says some of the proceeds fund terrorism and the nuclear program. Juan Zarate is a former White House official and author of Treasury's War, unleashing a new era of financial warfare.
With a regime that controls the economy, that controls investment vehicles, and key elements of the industry and economic infrastructure of the state, it allows the clerical establishment and the Revolutionary Guard to profit and to make money and to try to move and hide it as well.
The U.S. Treasury exposed Setad in June and tried to shut it down. One of its holdings, Ray Investment, is worth $40 billion, much of it thanks to embezzled donations meant for religious shrines. Another company, known as Tadbir, hid hundreds of millions of dollars in insurance companies and banks. That's where the Ayatollah is said to put his own money.
This is a game of cat and mouse, modern form of financial warfare that the Treasury and others in the West have been trying to engage in, with the Ayatollahs and the clerical establishment trying to raise and move money, not only for their personal benefit, but for the survival of the regime and the development of a nuclear program.
So skeptics, including the Israeli government, argue that these sanctions are not strong enough to force Iran's leaders to halt the nuclear program. The Obama administration defends itself, saying existing sanctions have slowed down nuclear development, and they succeeded in bringing Iran to the negotiating table.
All right, Margaret, thank you.